Gas demand in Europe between 2008 and 2009 fell by about 5%, but that was different in different countries. In Germany there was hardly any fall. In Spain and in Italy and in the UK there was a much bigger fall than 5%. But there's been a recovery in 2010. So although we're not back to the levels of 2008, it looks as if in most countries gas demand will be back to 2008 levels around 2012. The main challenge for gas is the way it is priced. For the last many decades, gas has been priced in relation to oil products, and that made absolute sense when gas was actually replacing oil products in the energy balance. But now gas has its own place in the energy balance. And we have a series of contracts in almost every continental European country which need to be moved from being related to oil products to related to probably gas prices in different competitive zones. Now this is very complicated because it involves a lot of external producers like Gazprom in Russia, Sonatrach in Algeria, Statoil in Norway, and there's going to be a great deal of difficulty making the changes in these contracts. But it's essential that gas makes this transition, partly because the current pricing structure makes no sense, and partly because if gas is to make progress in power generation in the future, it cannot continue to be priced relative to oil products. Gas's role in the transition to a low-carbon economy can be really quite significant. In the short term, in many countries, gas can be substituted for coal, which would reduce carbon emissions immediately in the period up to 2020. Gas can also act as a backup for intermittent renewable energy like wind. But the big question for gas in the long term is whether it can decarbonise, either in the form of green gas, that's biogas, or whether you can fit carbon capture and storage to existing gas-fired installations. Now, neither the gas community nor the political community has given a great deal of thought to this so far. But it looks to me as if gas can make a significant short-term contribution. And if some of these technologies, which I've talked about, prove to be cost-effective, it could make a much longer-term contribution than, for example, carbon capture with coal, or some of the more exotic technologies which are so far not proven.